Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. It's obviously great to be here. So Samsung. So it's been a big few months for us, and a few months that has meant that VR has become very much a focus of our business. So it all started a few months ago, if this works, when we launched our first consumer edition Gear VR product. So you probably noticed our third generation VR. Previously, it all started with the Note 4 Innovator Edition a couple of years ago, and we launched it at the end of the year, and the reception was fantastic. Last month, we also launched the small matter of this, our best handset we've ever made, the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge. So to say the response to this has been positive is probably a bit of an understatement. We have received fantastic reviews, a lot of positive press around the product and what it can do, which is great for me because the product is also optimised for the Gear VR. So you'll see the VR experience on S7 is fantastic. And you might have noticed something a little bit different about our announcement. If the sound's working.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Hey, it's great to be here. It's an honor to be here today.
So this is really important for us. This is a way of really announcing Gear VR to the masses, and at the same time showing just how important VR is to Samsung, and also how important the collaboration with Oculus is. And to have this image is probably either exciting or terrifying, depending on which way you look at it. But for Mark Zuckerberg to be there talking about how powerful Gear VR can be was a really big thing for us. You probably also saw that for the first time as part of our advertising, Gear VR was very much front and centre. So previously VR could be seen as an accessory kind of on the side. With S7 it very much became a very, very key part of how we were talking to the consumer, talking about how Gear VR adds a new dimension to S7 and what exactly you can do with VR. And as a result, our channel partners really got on board with it. So you might have seen some of this out and about in the press, in stores, and a lot of focus on the pre-order message with VR. So a lot of channels gave customers a chance to get a VR for free when they purchased an S7. And for us, it's a really important way of getting VR into customers' hands. We know how great it is, and we know that it's a fantastic entry point into VR. This allowed us to capture a new demographic of people that could buy an S7, get a VR, and really experiment with it and see what VR can do. And this is an example of what one of our partners did. So this is massively important for us, right? We to have our channel partners on board, bringing to life Gear VR in retail meant that thousands more people could go into a store and experience Gear VR. We all know how great Gear VR is, but we also know there's a massive amount of the population that don't know what it is. So for us, the key is to engage those people in VR, tell them what Gear VR can do, what amazing content's available, and how they can get it. And now, obviously, it's more attainable than ever. So some of you might have seen this. This is our largest piece of experiential ever. In Westfield, pretty much a takeover of the bottom floor of Westfield. We call it Galaxy Studio. and it's absolutely packed with VR stuff. So we had a VR roller coaster, VR skiing, just tons of stuff. And it's amazing that you go there, the buzz that's being generated around the VR, the queues for the roller coaster. It was incredible for us just to see the public reaction to having this stuff available for consumers to try. So we had 450,000 visitors, and you can see the numbers here that were trying all of the VR stuff is incredible. And all of those people, without Galaxy Studio, may not have tried VR, and then we wouldn't have hooked them into the VR ecosystem. And again, here's a little summary of what it looked like.
Trying to figure it out. Nothing better to do when I'm stuck on you. I'm here trying to figure it out. Getting hard to sleep, blood is in my dreams. Love is killing me, trying to figure it out. Nothing better to do when I'm stuck on you. I'm still in here trying to figure it out.
Adding some kind of playfulness to VR and showing people experiences they couldn't get elsewhere. And the reaction from that was fantastic, and as you can see, it was pretty interesting. So another thing we've tried to do is expand the reach of VR via partnerships. So we partnered with the National History Museum the end of last year, and we showed the first VR experience of a David Attenborough film, which you might have seen, called Great Barrier Reef Dive, and it ran for a couple of months, and it was great. The reaction, it really got a huge demographic of people that probably wouldn't have tried VR elsewhere, going in, seeing the experience. I think it was a 10 to 20 minute film, narrated by David Attenborough, so it was nice and peaceful and calming, and it's a great way of showing how VR can enhance an experience. So the upshot of all of this is, at the moment, there's about 2.7 million people in the UK that have got a compatible device, so they can go out and buy Gear VR for $79.99 and experience VR. And I guess for us, that is the key point, is that we want to make VR as accessible as possible. We want to make sure that all of these people get a chance to try VR, buy into it, and see what great content's available. So we also know that VR without the content is nothing. So this is where we're really lucky to have the partnership with Oculus, and obviously the amount they're investing in content and the stuff that developers are creating is for me, is mind-blowing. I think you go on the store now, and there's an incredible amount of content that's available now. And if you look at where that is now compared to where we were a couple of years ago, it's just an exponential growth. And the most exciting thing for me also is it's the breadth of content. There's so much stuff that can appeal to such a wide demographic of people that there's a lot that can entice people. So when I get family and friends round and I get my device out and I say, have a play, and there's just tons of stuff that intrigues them. And I guess that's the thing for us with VR, is that it's such a new market. It's working out what content appeals to those people. What is it about VR that will hook some people in? Because we know there's a massive variety of people that could be intrigued by VR if you can target them with the correct content that will interest them. And here's some highlights of some content.
You're probably used to playing Temple Run like this.
Let's go.
But just add a Samsung Gear VR. And now, you're actually in the game.
Jump.
Whoa, look at the stars. Hey, let me see those for a second. Now you don't just look at the stars, you fly among them. Whoa. Now this looks like somewhere I'd like to go. All right, why not? And now I'm in a whole new world. You're used to dreaming about heroes, but when you add the Samsung Gear VR, you become the hero.
So I think that's a great example of some of the advertising we're using to try and take VR as a concept to people and show, obviously the inherent challenge with VR is showing what VR looks to people that haven't tried it. We all know this. But we're trying very hard to make it enticing, to make people want to try VR and give it a go. And I think like AMD, we're also really excited just by the endless applications of VR. You know, part of the reason we're also excited about it is that we realise that the limits are endless of what you can do. And when people invest in the technology and they invest in understanding what it can do, it's fascinating the stuff that can be created. And we've worked with tens and tens of companies around really innovative content. And we're also massively excited about obviously being a technology company, where our tech will go and what that will empower in the future in terms of mobile VR, in terms of higher resolutions, higher frame rates, the whole piece. We really see Gear VR as an investment for the long term. So at the same time at MWC, you probably saw we announced another new product called the Gear 360.
The new S7 redefines how you can use a phone. But what really breaks the boundaries of what a phone can do is a completely new way to share memories. Now you can record your life with the 360 camera, preview it on your phone, and then simply load it into your VR headset. Imagine, this simple 5-inch phone is now your personal 360 cinema screen. You define the possibilities, and we'll redefine the phone. Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. Rethink what a phone can do.
So I'm massively excited about this. So we know that there are a lot of people that are getting their head around 360 video now. They're going on Facebook, they're going on YouTube. For us, Gear 360 is a way of allowing anyone to become a VR creator. Taking it away from being go on the Oculus store, download XYZ, to creating your own 360 content. We know there's a big education piece there around letting customers know what they can do with this, but I'm really excited that for the first time this will allow customers to affordably create their own VR content. So essentially, the key takeout really is that it will allow you to create real high-resolution 360. It's IP54 rated as standard. We'll have an IP68 case coming out to make it action-ready. But the key part for me really is this connectivity piece. I cannot overestimate how easy this is to do. It literally, you get the device out, you pair it up to your phone automatically, you capture some content, it will use Wi-Fi direct, so the transfer speeds are good, and it's as simple as this. You shoot, you stitch, you can edit on the device, you view, and you can share. And part of that, when you get to the viewing part, it will prompt you to insert into Gear VR. Just like that, you put your VR on, you can view your own content. So the process by which a customer can record and view their own and share their own content is incredibly easy. We have a Gear 360 app that comes with a product. You just load it on your handset, you're good to go. It does all the stitching for you, and it's incredibly intuitive and easy to use. And for me, there's obviously a subset of people that want to use it for this sort of stuff. So like, this is me last week skiing, just casually. So we realised that this is the sort of stuff that you could do with it. But conversely, I think for me, the real key takeout is that we want it to be a product that allows you to capture everyday moments in your life in 360. Capturing weddings, nights out, whatever it may be. It's about making 360 accessible to the user. And again, this is me and my mates just having a kick around. So for us, it's about the whole ecosystem. It's about how, as a company, we are allowing customers to not only create their own content, but then view their own content, both on our S7 and on our Gear VR. Some skills there. So yeah, so it's about, for us, it's a whole new way of capturing, sharing, experiencing your content. And what we want to do when this product comes out is get it into the hands of influencers, people that are going to try it and test it and use it, and really populate the idea that customers can create their own 360 content. So the product itself will be launching in Q2 very soon. We have some samples over at our stand, so come over and check it out and we'll give you a demo and you can see what it's like. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jason. So, does anyone have any questions? Possibly not on keeping up skills or para-skiing, but anything Samsung Gear VR related. Chap in the front row, if you could wait for the mic to appear so the rest of our vast audience can hear you, that'd be great.
If I was a developer, would there be a conference where I might be able to learn more about this?
Funny you should ask that.
That's
I think there might be one next week in California, is that correct?
Week after.
A week after, yeah. Thanks for that.
I see. And I think I saw another hand at the back. Yeah, the chap in the blue cap again.
So it's me again. When is do you know when positional tracking is coming to your mobiles?
I can't comment on that at the moment. All I can say is there's a lot of stuff in development. You know, we are Samsung. We're planning years ahead of this stuff, there'll be news in the near future about that sort of stuff.
Fantastic. Anybody else? And another hand at the back, Mr. Oliver.
It is on. Okay. More of a practical question, really. We're hearing all like faster processors and better screens, and higher resolutions and stuff like that. But whenever I give VR units to sort of casual players, they love it, but very quickly you fog up, it's heavy, it's cumbersome, and you get a sweaty head problem. And it's like, how much work is going into just the units itself? I appreciate most of yours are kind of the weight of the phone will be there, but that seems to be something that's never talked about, the fact that they're quite cumbersome. Yeah, look, I think what I would say is that, you know, we're well aware that this is an industry that's still in its infancy. We may be on our third generation, but this is something that we are researching a lot, we are investing a lot, and we are really developing for the future. So all of this stuff, 100% is being looked at. You know, in Swan, there's a lot of development going on with all of this kind of stuff. We're working closely with Oculus. So all of this stuff, I can assure you, is all being looked at, all being worked on, and you'll see every future generation of Gear VR, every handset will just improve the experience further and further and further. Thank you.
Great stuff. Oh, and you've already on it, the chap there with the glasses.
Have you got any plans to release any information about how well content is selling on the platform, or how many headsets have been sold? It's something that our business, we get asked all the time.
So all I can say at this stage is Gear VR-wise, there's tens and tens of thousands of devices in the market. It's the adoption rate since we launched the consumer edition has been rapid. What I would say content-wise, really, that's down for us to collaborate with Oculus. That's Oculus themselves. We work with them closely on the store, but a lot of the content on there is content they've curated, so that's down to them to decide if they want to release.
Great, okay. Well, we better move on to our next one, but just to say thanks so much, Jason. Fantastic stuff.